Actually, genuinely, with you and Kamala Harris, I think 45 minutes is horrible, but I think you're so skilled and like compassionate. Just like it's fun. It's fun to talk to you. I think it would just end up being much, much longer. That's the hope.
If that's the hope, yeah. There would be questions though, and some questions would be very complicated, like the immigration question. Like I would say, what's happening? Like what is happening? Do you think that there should be limitations to this? Do you think it should be stopped outright? Do you think we should round up all the people that we know that are terrorists that made it across? Are we keeping track of them? Do we know how many? Do we know what happened? Do we know why it happened? Why are people opposed to the idea of cracking down on Border Patrol? Making more soldiers available, putting walls up everywhere. Like, what is the reason to not do this? Like, tell me what you're thinking. And when people start talking about labor, they talking about bringing in labor and then our population is lower. Like Chuck Schumer brought that up. Talk about, like, we need workers. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. What are we saying? We don't. Is that really what the problem is? That Americans aren't willing to do jobs? And you want to bring in illegal people? How about just make legal immigration easier for poor people that are trying to get over here? How about just scan them, screen them, make sure that they're not fucking murderers, make sure they're not cartel members, and then let them in easier? Like, wouldn't that be a better way to do it, to vet people? But the idea of not vetting people just doesn't make any sense at all. That would have been a problem. That conversation would have been a problem because it doesn't make any sense at all. And I'm a grandchild of immigrants. I believe in immigration. I think America is the fucking shining light in the world. Like, if you can get here, you can actually make something happen. There's not a caste system. They actually reward people from, started from the bottom, now we're here. Like, that's a thing here. Although that's Drake, he's Canada. But it's that thought.
That's going to be America soon, right?
Yeah, we're going to take over Canada for sure. Yeah, that needs to happen. Yeah, 51st state. Let's go. Puerto Rico's next. You got to become a real state now,
Greenland.
Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico's got a weird thing where you're allowed to not pay taxes, but you can't vote. Do you know that deal? That's the Peter Schiff deal. You don't vote, but you don't pay federal income tax. Like, all right. I think you're going to go to jail someday. I think one day they're going to fucking pull you aside and go, we changed that rule, and you owe us $4 billion in back taxes, you fucking criminal. What are you doing out here? Hanging out on this island, just stealing money.
But yeah, we definitely need legal immigration, the idea of bringing like the best people in the world here.
Yeah.
But also, Mark Andreessen talks about this, like we need to make sure we recruit like the Midwest, the farm boys, get them to like do epic shit inside, Americans.
Well, here's step one. Ramp up the fucking education system.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. At what point in time do we not say, how far do we have to slip down the list of like the best performing students in the world before someone comes along and says, hey, the whole thing about this place is if our kids are losers, they're going to grow up to become loser adults. Yeah. Make it way easier to be a winner. What's the best way to do that? Have a way better education system. Just imagine if they completely revamped the education system in this country, just poured a shitload of money and had the wisest minds come up with a brilliant strategy for more creative ways of approaching learning, pushing people into viable pathways that maybe didn't even exist when the education system was structured, because things have changed so much in the world. You could probably do a way better job than we're doing, which would make people come out of that, they would emerge better qualified people. So we would get more shit done in America. Mm-hmm. So America would prosper overall. The GDP would grow. Everything would be better. You'd have less poverty. You'd have more. That's where they need to start. It's not just let in all the immigrants. How about fix what we got here and then expand that outward? Mm-hmm. Like make this place the best it can be and then expand